Stop fucking playing with me. There we go. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Let me get my glasses on. Some tell me I'm about to read some shit today. Ooh, look at that. Well, it is Sunday. It is the 11th, I believe, right? So we got this 111 energy going on. That's probably why I got moved to make the video because I wasn't going to do it today. But we got that 111, that 11 kind of portalish energy, whatever. It just speaks to restarting. It's like a reset going on here. I don't know. I didn't channel anything before I got on here. I was just moved to do it. I don't know. It just felt like more pure exuberance to actually get on and do it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's the message for today, really. It can be something just that simple. You know what I mean? Just the exuberance. But I know I ain't going to be too long because my birds is playing today. Them damn 49ers. Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles. So how's everybody feeling? How are you feeling today about everything going on? Not just in your life, but overall, you know. Got more than enough distractions to keep you busy. The world is not short of that at all. So we're going to be using fancies. We're going to be using Santa Morte for clarifying. And we're going to be using the intuition, of course. But here we go. Set something up there too so we can put these cards up so they can be visible for you. As always, use your own intuition and discernment. You'll know if it's for you because you'll feel it. But this is not a personal thing. If you feel like I'm coming at you, then that's your spirit feeling some type of way about something you've done. So let's get that out the way. These are general collective energy messages. These are not personal readings. You want a personal reading, you come get that. And it'll be a whole different ball game because then I get to focus in on just your energy and really give you what you, your clarity, so to speak, or help you come get your clarity. So as healers, you're not here to alleviate somebody else's burden or pain. You're here to show them how to do it because of your example. So let's keep that in mind, all you healers out there, especially if you're kind of new to the thing. There's just this misconception that we're here to alleviate everybody's pain, right? Oh, we got somebody from somewhere I can't understand that the language that is. What's that? Russian? Welcome in anyway. It's nothing better than reaching out and touching people around the world, right? All right, there's a lot of shuffling today. A lot of shuffling. So I'm feeling a lot of movement, especially since the New Year's and all that other stuff is gone. Christmas, the holidays. It's kind of like the recouping period, especially for a lot of people who had to go ham. Like I feel bad for people who had kids, because you gotta kind of give them that experience. It's kind of like you know what I mean? Instead of being the revolutionary that you probably are, be like, fuck giving them all that money and all that. Let's, like even the thing with the lady getting shot by the ICE agents and all this protesting, it's a lot simpler, I think, than people give it mind to. Like, if I really wanted to protest what ICE did, I'm not paying taxes this year. Like if everybody who was in that crowd just said we're not paying taxes and just went home and went about their business as a protest, that would be more impactful than you out there screaming and shouting and potentially causing more of the issues that they really want y'all motherfuckers to do. You got to see how you're being baited in these games. You know what I'm saying? How they're playing chess ahead of everybody. You got to see. This is Aurora. So you got to see how people are playing in your face. People are playing the game. It's something that's not going to be outright, even though you might see it. You know what I mean? You might peep it. But some people disguise that envy, that maliciousness very well. You understand? Um, Come off as very kind and loving and is like, where is anybody? Honeybee. Well, welcome in. Rephrase that. I'm not sure what the question is. Facts. What's going on, priestess? You're not going to see it. You're going to have to use other faculties. And that's the reason why it's happening. I'm going to tell you now. It's for you, right? It's meant for you to use something that you haven't used in a long time or haven't used at all. This is Aurora kind of represents that energy where if you lose a sense such as smell or taste, right? You know how they say if you lose one of your senses, another one gets stronger. It's in that realm because the game is changed. Even though the game is pretty much over, like we're done with this. If you're not, you're holding on to an old cycle, you're going to be the beneficiary of all that comes with that old Piscean cycle. It's a big switch, it's a big change when we talk about the ages changing. You know what I'm saying? From Pisces into Aquarius. Because we're coming out of the belief system of things, believing things without the facts, without the validation, without the blah, 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 into the age of knowing. And knowing doesn't mean always knowing the facts. It's like I know it in my heart kind of thing. You know, it's an inner knowing. The heart is the ultimate knower. You know what I'm saying? For people who see this backwards, it'll be on that side. But Aurora, kind of like, you know, you got to get ahead of the chess moves right about now. And, you know, as much as I'd be rooting for the collective, I already get it. You know, it may be not in the grand scheme of things for shit to go down how we would like it to go down. And that's quite all right. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Alchemy? Now is the time for this, the Lady of the Shrine. And this is a carryover from the last message, which means it's still in effect. And this is why I don't do readings every day, every week, because it's just there's a timing in there that's beyond numbers, like the days of the week and all that other shit, you know, changing of signs and everything, because it still carry a frequency. The quiet introspection, so you know who's talking in the upper room. You know what I'm saying? Who's guiding the decisions in the upper room? You're going to hear a lot of shit. You know what I mean? If you're on social media, you're going to hear a lot of shit. If you're in the fucking break room, you're going to hear a lot of shit. And you can internalize a lot of that as it being you when this is saying, get back to the silence. And this is ancestral as well. So this could be part of your ancestry speaking to you through your blood, you know, your bloodline. And you have to be still to hear that because there's answers there that you're going to find. And that's part of that knowing. This is helping us get in Aquarian shape, so to speak, right? This is helping us get in the shape of the knowing and trusting the knowing, even if it's not in a book, even if it's something you can't read. There's just a knowing that we all possess if we allow that energy to swell up, right? So let's clarify these bad boys. Drop in the comments, please, how y'all feeling today and what you think about the state of affairs in the world and, you know, anything that you feel relevant. We'll pull cards on things that are just in general if you want. It's Sunday, you know. Like I said, all I got is the Eagles game and some work to catch up on, but that's light work. That's light work. Some of it. A lot of it's going into that subconscious dark work, you know what I'm saying? But same difference. Shit gonna get done. So, the Four of Wands, we're gonna clarify And hello to everybody in the chat. We're going to clarify Aurora. So we got the Four of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Two of Wands. Again, more fire, more passion. You remember how I came in? It was just like, I don't even have no messages I could handle. It just felt like get in there and just go at it. It's like the things that are going to be the most relevant to you right now are not going to be planned. It's not there to for you to get ahead of it, so to speak. It's like you got to show up and you got to be in the moment with shit. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to really be in touch with who you are. And that's why this part is so important. The time that you spend alone in meditation. You know, there's a lot of people who cannot be alone. And this is going to be the time where you either really address that within yourself, or, you know, you're going to be subject to whatever anybody else is kind of putting out there. So it's time to make a decision. Which way are you going to go? You know what I mean? Because the foundation of what you know is crumbling. It's crumbling right before our eyes. It's crumbling right before our eyes. The things that we're used to, the things, and that's another thing. But we'll talk about that in a second. That'll be more here. Just fucking remind me because I might forget doing all this channeling. Wondering why we're all watching the train wreck happening without doing anything. Well, sometimes you gotta let shit just die. There's nothing you can do about it, and you're not supposed to do anything about it because of this. A lot of people have already made that decision. I'm not going back. I'm not going to be a better person. I don't give a fuck about the world. Let's go fuck these people up over there and take what we want, kind of thing. Like, they've already made that choice. Already made that choice. You know what I mean? And this is what that choice causes. It's an upheaval. It's topsy turvy. It's when you turn a happy home into a trap house. Do you feel what I'm saying? You turn it into a trap house, so to speak. It just ain't the same no more. The way we live, the way we operate is not the same anymore. And this is like being guided through the dark when we're talking about Aurora. She takes on the energy of the bat. And that is about, you know, there's a lot with sound coming up, sound therapy, but sound, mind, and body. Um, yeah, that shit sounds good, my nigga. You know, that kind of energy. So don't just take it as the senses. Like even the phrases that we use for all these, um, you know, all these examples are still relevant. So let's pull on this. What was I gonna say about that? Shit, I forgot. It'll come back. It'll come back. I knew I was gonna forget. Especially since I got these damn glasses on, I can see comments. Crumbling is a fact. Yeah, it's all coming down, and we should be happy about that because I don't know about y'all, but it's to the point where it's so insensitive now. Like we're just used to people getting blown to pieces in countries, and you know what I'm saying, that it doesn't even really move you like it would be if it was the first time you saw it. You know what I mean? This was a perfect world, and then all of a sudden, boom! You know, they bombed their country. Look at all those people suffering. It would be a whole different feeling and movement behind it, right? But we're seeing it every day, so we're being basically numbed down to it because it's just so every day. You know what I mean? All right. And what we're going to pull for this one? So for the, jeez. Okay. So for the Lady of the Shrine, and we're going to, and that's the thing. It's supposed to take you by surprise because that's what's going to make you, and these decisions, you know, as much as we like to get the long-term vision, we don't even know what the fuck next week gonna look like with all the shit going on. You know what I mean? It might be a food shortage. It might be a fucking blackout. It might be martial law over there. And then your whole shit changes. This is more about being in the moment, making in the moment decisions. And this will be a true test of how much you've learned about yourself. For real, for real. So a good example is that person that triggered you a couple months ago, a couple years ago, come back around and they try the same shit again, you have that decision. You know what I'm saying? Hello to whoever's saying hello 5 billion times. Um, hello, 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 hello. It's very desensitizing. And that works again. Everything has a duality. Sometimes that's not a bad thing because you don't lend so much energy to it now. You understand what I'm saying? You don't give it as much attention as you, because who knows? You know, with AI, you could, if we can get Biggie and Tupac on the stage with Michael Jackson just using holograms, what else can be created as far as an illusion? Because we're dealing with people who got nothing but tricks up their sleeve. You feel what I'm saying? When we're talking about them, right? And their whole methodology of I can't have it, you can't have it, we gonna fuck this whole world up anyway. This feels more like a this feels like where a lot of people are right now. You'll have to decide. So please just take this with a grain of salt. If you're not here, you're here. You understand what I'm saying? This and this are very different. This is allowing people, places, and things that do not belong in your life to remain. This is failing to cut things off at the cord, cutting cords and shit like that. This is not using your head. You know what I'm saying? Not using any kind of strategy at all. Not using your head, basically, right? So that's what this king, and this is, and what that does is it limits your options. You fail to see what else is out there. And that's what, okay, that was the message, because we're so conditioned from the old cycle about how things are supposed to go, because life has shown us maybe through a 7-year cycle, this is going to be the currency of what I'm going to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And in that process, you get used to it being like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, it could be anything. Like, people are going to keep turning me down for jobs because of this, or this, and that, and that. And you get caught in that cycle. This cycle right here is asking you to make a choice of, if you honestly believe that's all that you're here to do and that's all God has for you, if that's the way you're going to roll with it, then that's what it's going to be. So that is a choice. But for those of you who have pulled out the clippers and are using your head and are planning ahead, and this motherfucker's ice cold. This is ice in your veins kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? Very mature, very emotionally, and just intelligent, just intelligence, right? Which leads to infinite possibilities because you've cleared space using that sword. You've opened yourself up to now you're coming back to this. Which way did it go? You feel what I'm saying? And that in itself presents another challenge, because it's like which cup might be best for you. But if we're changing our thinking, the way we think also is changing, then all of these might be great. And that's when it really gets challenging. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say these were all suitors. They had all kinds of different or job opportunities, and they all had benefits and all that. It's like, which one would I really want to? And that might be the tough part. You know what I'm saying? Picking which cup is the best for you. It ain't always like that, but that's just an example of keeping a positive mind state about it all. You know what I mean? And not feeling any way if you happen to choose the wrong one, so to speak. It'll just be a lesson. It'll let you know where you're at, and then you can make the adjustments. No big deal. It's not a personal thing, right? So that is the overall opening message. Yeah, we just getting warmed up. What time is it? Because the game ain't on until, shit, we got at least a good 20, 30 minutes. Shit, maybe an hour, all them goddamn commercials they be running. So let's talk about it. Let's deal with it. What did we mention? I'm happy about the insensitive, taking my surprise, very sensitive. Yeah. But there's a trick in all that as well. Like I said, there's two sides. You really got to choose where you're going to put your energy. when it comes to that, because sensitivity in itself, being empathetic, is a gift. You understand what I'm saying? It is a. It's just like the insects having antennas and it guides you. You know what I'm saying? It'll help you read the room, help read people's energy from time to time, moment to moment, right? The White Wizard. Okay, we're gonna get into that one real quick. But we don't want to be so insensitive that we're missing things. You know what I'm saying? That we've cut that gift off or close ourselves off to the suffering of others. We still have compassion at the end of the day. It's not just a, fuck them over there kind of thing. You feel me? They getting what they deserve or whatever, whatever, whatever. Because for the first time in a long time, I watched the news just to see what the hell was going on. And it hasn't changed. It's just the spin of the narratives stuck out so much. I was like, geez, if you're watching this, you really, you know what I'm saying, you're really getting on the bad end of the stick. Because again, you're not listening to your own, you're not coming to your own conclusion about things. You're not doing the research that allows you to make your own decision or come to your own conclusion. You can't allow these people to sway the way you operate. This White Wizard is supported by, okay, there's two messages here. Walking away. Um, at the most extreme, this would be like you selling everything and going to buy a farm in some distant country and just living off the land with these two right here. Because she's very much, I just say she because of the archetype, men or women, doesn't matter. Not on this channel. Um, Very much in touch with the natural world. I was sitting there on my walk today, and I love walking anywhere in nature, but um, I marvel at the intelligence of the animal and the plant kingdom, especially the plant kingdom. It's such a we don't talk about it enough. We definitely don't respect it the way we treat it. Um, but there's so much information. There's such a connection that can be made to the plant kingdom itself. And this jaguar energy giving us the ability to now you see me, now you don't. How to camouflage your energy. This again goes back to the strategy of the King of Swords on how to discern what parts of yourself you show to this person, what parts, how much energy you give to this situation, that kind of energy. But this is walking away from anything that doesn't support that new beginning. This is like you becoming a shaman. One day you're, a general manager somewhere, you're making 75, 80K a year or whatever, but then all of a sudden it's just like you get this calling. Again, another decision. This seems like a message for somebody who's going to see this now or later. It's really saying you're walking away or you're walking towards being who you truly are. The world will tell you that, be a good worker, be a good wife, husband, blah, 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 parent, all the things that we were programmed to be when we already came here and we already knew. We just didn't have that support system to help nurture that. You understand what I'm saying? You won't see spirituality, you won't see astrology, you won't see things of that nature in schools for a good reason. All right? And then on top of that, second message. King of Cups in reverse. Give me one more, because I feel a couple off of that too. Damn, this feels like a whole other message in itself related to this. Because we got the Justice, and this is the other half of the game, because we have the other king show up. But this is the king of the hearts. In the upright, he drinks from his own cup. He doesn't need the outside validation. So this message is kind of clear. This is really a self-check. If you take it personal, it's because you haven't done the work on that end. That's not my problem. Don't come for me because you don't want no problems. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even got to fight the war no more. Have fun with them niggas. You feel me? She don't want no problems. I don't want no problems with them. But I say that to say it's an injustice to yourself. Things are out of balance when it's like this. If this was upright, then these two kings, your head and your heart, have to be in alignment, which means they have to agree. That is what brings balance. That's what brings healing. That's what brings clarity. This is when you know when to move and when not to move. This is where you meditate and then you get the heads up to move and act on it rather than just being impulsively trying to force things to happen on a physical level, but then also not being so lackadaisic in the feminine realm where you're just sitting around dreaming about shit every day, but you're not taking action, right? This is for those of you who need to take a step back and not let things get to you so much. Emotional maturity coming into being. So this is a great sign because you're going to get that lesson now. In the way you'll know. And again, this is in the moment shit. So don't think of it as a cycle just yet. This is in the moment shit. You'll know because things will be out of balance. It'll be unjust. The way you respond to certain situations. You know what I'm saying? You are the only one who can really give yourself that justice. And what does this mean? There's no blame game here. If I was in that relationship and it didn't work, I am part of that problem. So let me fix it. That is accountability. That is emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we belong together anymore. I think this business partnership or whatever has run its course. It's time for something new, like we had in the beginning with the Seven of Cups. Presenting yourself with new options, not going through the old cycles no more. Bang, bang, bang. This is what brings justice, which is nothing more than balance. Ruled by Venus, right? So we come back here. A lot of this comes back to the realm of self-love. It's a funky place to be in because you can have it at one stage of your life and have it completely changed due to circumstance. Let's just say you was the life of the party back in the day. Now, you know what I'm saying? You know, life happened to you. You know what I'm saying? You got a few grays now. You may have you might walk with a limp or some shit. Like something may have changed. And this brings in a new level of acceptance of the cycles of life. You understand what I'm saying? So what? You're missing a fucking tooth now. It should not affect how you feel about yourself. We should already come to the understanding that we are going to change throughout life. We're not going to be as dope as we were in a physical sense. You know what I'm saying? Things changing around you, things of that nature. So that's another kind of message I hear coming through. So let's get to closing. I don't know. I might want to make a snack or something for this game. The day lose to these bum ass 49ers today. Oh well. Emotional maturity. And that's a great example because, you know, it's kind of like, have you guys seen that guy in the casino lost all his money? Was on the table throwing the chips and shit everywhere. That's a great example of what I'm just talking about. Perfect example. You knew you shouldn't have been in there spending all that goddamn money, especially when it's due to your life savings, right? And then you want to act out. When you know that that place is geared to get you for all your money. Shit. So let's get a closing one. We can log this out. What should we ask? Is there anything out there that y'all got as far as a question? We can put it up in there. I'll let it marinate for a second while I shuffle. Like a good question, if you could think of one in the next couple minutes, if you got one already, put it in the chat for me, and we'll pull a card on it. All right. Bang, bang. Shuffle, shuffle. Pull this. We're not gonna look at it. Pull that. We're not gonna look at it. Nobody's in the chat. We're gonna pull two. Talk about it. One here. One on the bottom. Bang. Done with that. More choices. The Lovers. And the Death card. Again, more choices, more decisions, more about that heart chakra. Right? And we're just going to clarify these bad boys. I can get these in. All right. I just want them to sit up. Beautiful. Always choices. Yes, absolutely. Especially now. Especially now. We were just talking about that self-love. And whether you've been doing it or not, it's not even the thing right now. It's really highlighting that if you have, this is a new level of self-love. You know, you can learn patience, but there's always another level to that shit. The universe will find a way to test that for you. You know what I'm saying? Be a child or some shit. You know what I mean? You thought you was the most patient in the world till you had that one student or that, you know what I'm saying, that customer or whatever, test the shit out of you. But let's just say, self-love, there's a new level. Pouring into your cup again. Really getting back into the self. And this nine of, again, wands. Things that you used to love may not be what you love anymore. Things that you used to be passionate about may not be what's in the sauce now. You know what I'm saying? It's time to clear out all that old energy. It's time to clear it all out. You see how she's going to work with that sickle, right? All those wands. It might even be a harvest for some of y'all because we use that sickle for harvest as well. You know what I mean? Depends on where you are in your journey. But this really says, you know, if this was, let's just say this is the end of the fucking world. And it really is, but like you say in a very morbid kind of way, you know, wasteland, desert, Mad Max kind of shit, you know, renegades running around for everywhere. That kind of deal, right? With the time that you have now, going for your heart's desire. If this world was going to get blown up by Skynet tomorrow, nigga, what are you going to do today that really, like, makes you alive again? And this is encouraging you to clear out old stuff and find new things to really be excited about. You know, wands bring excitement. It's the energy. You know, it's kind of a Mars energy. But like, what is that? What is that thing for you? You know what I'm saying? What is that thing that you have love of doing? If it was the last day, I'm gonna make sure I do one more painting for myself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a self portrait or some shit. But I'll be in the walk in nature, like all the things I really enjoy. I'm going to indulge in, and most of it doesn't cost a fucking dime. You know what I mean? It might be a treat or a meal that I really love that I would love to have that last time kind of thing to experience. But for the most part, you know, what is it that you really get you out of bed and focusing on that and letting everything kind of be what it is. You're not going to stop ICE from shooting a chick up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You would have done it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't see that any more than you can force ICE to get out of the country yourself. That's a collective thing. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about you. What is that thing? Or finishing a project or something of that nature, right? And that all comes back to here. The change that's necessary, the new opportunity. That's what death is. Death is a change of address. So this could be moving, relocating, new job, new relationships, new friendships, new partnerships. Because the death of the old brings an opportunity for the new. This goes back to our seven of cups. Same difference. It brings in the opportunity. One cycle closes, another begins. You know what I'm saying? You see a dead bird and then you see birth. So As soon as one thing leaves, you're leaving room for something else. And then the lovers. This feels more like the gratitude that you show to whatever it is that you see is bigger than yourself. And I don't want to mean it in a, who you pray to, what you believe in. This is a dance of gratitude for the time that you have spent until the world fucking blows up, right? For all that you've learned and the experiences that you had. This is what that is. It's really like being a kid again, where you didn't really worry about tomorrow. You know what I mean? You didn't worry about the next day. You were so entranced in what you were doing in the moment that everything else kind of disappears and you're in this beautiful dance with creation. It could be anything as far as that creation. And it could be anyone. Hell, we're not going to limit anything. You know what I mean? Bang, bang, bang. So that's the overall energy for the collective. Individually, it's a whole different story, a whole different chart. We are in the middle of the blue hand wave spell in the Mayan calendar. And what that means is things dealing with the hand, mudras, massages, getting your nails done, cleaning your nails, clipping your nails, handshakes, touching people in a healing kind of way, or not so healing kind of way. It still deals with the hands, what you can build and create with your hands, what you can nurture, what you can grow with your hands. Um, it's just a lot that can be done right now, but the focus is really with the hands. I feel like my inner child let yourself a lot lately. It's uh it's going to be very undeniable, especially if you're one of those people who are definitely in that where's she at, that lady of the shrine or that high priestess energy where you're just in that quiet contemplation and allowing things to come to you and through you. I mean, I think that's really been a message ongoing for quite some time. Like, I don't ever see it as not a message of being that child again, just being carefree about certain things without being irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? Tell you not to go down there in Bourbon and unzip your pants for everything down there. That's foolish. You know what I'm saying? But if that's your thing, I mean, the world's ending anyway, right? Question is, what world is ending and who it's ending for? Who it no longer benefits, and what's the benefit of moving forward? Like, you'll get all that. Anybody need cards? Blue hand position above me. Forgot the title of it. It's in the position above me. That's your guide. As a blue eagle, yeah, that's your guide. That's where you get your messages from. Like, that's even the way I see that now from dealing with the Maya calendar. Like, that's your guide. Like, your messages, your visions, and all that activate when you use your hands, kind of thing. You could look at it like that. Even if it was, and it's something you got to play with because it'll be different for everybody, right? Everybody with your signature is not going to have the same upbringing, blah, 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 belief system. But let's just say you went into a nail shop and got your nails done, right? While they're doing your nails, while they're pampering your hands, you start receiving messages or some shit, you know? If you soak your hands, if you get them in dirt, it might be a whole nother message. You could do run the whole gambit, you know what I mean? But, even handshakes, knowing who you're exchanging energies with, and, knowing that at the end of, these are like the ends of circuits. For spine is like it's like the fuse box, basically, in your house. All the little switches, your chakras, go to different areas of the house, just like the different areas of the arms, the fingers, and the feet. All those areas come together. You got the five elements in the Chinese system, or you go to the Hindus and you got the, earth, air, fire, water, all that good stuff, and the ends of your fingers. That's why mudras are so powerful, because you're putting different elements together in different poses, blah, blah. That works on the mind and the energy. So it's one of them things, getting your hands a little dirty, however that shows up for you is really up to you. Take a little bit of time and just be like, you know, it's this crazy motherfucker talk about with the hands. Let me think about this for a minute. If you're really taking self development kind of serious, you know what I mean? And see what it does for you. Like for me, this is when I pick up pencils and brushes and I just let it go. You know what I mean? I let the hands do the talking. Same thing with Reiki. You know what I'm saying? You put your hands on the body, it'll go right to the area of the body that needs the healing. If you're a Reiki healer, if you still use the hands for massage therapy and things like that. But those are examples since you brought it up. But I don't see no other questions or anything like that. Anybody got a question? Anybody want a card? I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? 333. It's game time, baby. Well, not. It's game time there. It's 2:33 there. Here. We on Central Time. We behind a little bit. Nobody got a question? Nobody needs a card real quick? Blah, blah, blah. Been handsy lately, yeah. You just remember that goes on both ends of the scale. Like everything we talked about in the beginning with the forecast, especially with like emotional maturity. The handshake could turn into the boxing match. These are still hands. You feel what I'm saying? You can still use them. And sometimes this is more the solution than this. You just got to really be discerning. If somebody's trying to mug me in the alley, you getting these. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting this. Let's be friends while you trying to get me for mine. I'm going to put a lesson on you that you're going to think twice before you bribe the next person kind of thing. It just really depends on the situation you're in. But know that both ends are just as valuable. I don't know why people put so much evilness on the dark side when you need that. It's plain and simple. If you got to cuss a motherfucker out, that's what it's there for. You know what I mean? You're going to come out with a creative way to cuss that motherfucker out. All right, I'll get y'all two. Who won that one? Divine and healing guys. They're both necessary. And if you find anybody, especially these, I can't tell you how many of these readers, I don't know how. And I know how. It's because they serve the ego more so than the message. Trying to be nice to everybody and give them messages and all that. Light workers and all that, like dark workers are bad or some shit like that. This shit is just not the truth. You gotta have balance. Because at the end of the day, if you say dark work is bad or evil, you're talking about the feminine principle. And that's all I see out here is feminine reports. Feminine, you'll barely see a masculine reading, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, where do we go? So that's why I do it. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not going to take the stance of I'm doing it to even out that. I'm going to do it to make sure everybody gets what they need. I don't give a fuck what your orientation is. You know what I mean? You may not like nothing on this goddamn planet. But your goddamn self. Fuck it. It's not the issue. The issue is how do you balance it all out? And how do you use it to your benefit? All right. One card from each deck. However it comes out. We'll start with the Santa Muerte. I feel like going there first. Nobody on YouTube want no cards. I see a couple people in there. You can raise your hands. Even if you're under a fake account. I fucks with you. Come on. Yo, you wouldn't believe how many people. I think that's half the people on damn YouTube most of the time. It's motherfuckers from the past and shit. They don't ever say nothing. Don't ever leave no comments. Just be sitting there like this. Half of them trying to see if you folded, if you gave up, how you doing, who's in the background, all that nosy shit. All you gotta do is call a nigga. I'll tell you. And half the time I tell you ain't none of your fucking business. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that. My bad. I digress. Priestess. Santa Morte. I'll keep them. I'll just show you both of them. You got Santa Morte, and on top of that, you got Yellow Seed. Okay? And this is how they came out. I'll pull one more. I'll pull one more. Give me a second. Three of Swords. Healing Pools. Where you at? I know you was in here, right? Yeah. Three of Swords with the Queen of Hearts. Okay. Um, Pick which deck you want your clarifiers from, either Santa Muerte or Fancy's deck, because these tell stories already. But I want to use the last card as like a more of an advice. This feels like current energy. Feels like current energy, but I want to give y'all something you could take with you. Um, and I want to make that decision. I want to make that your decision, like we talked about in the beginning. Making decisions for yourself. One, two, three. Yeah, definitely that Taurus shit. It's all cool till you cross that fucking line. My God. Just like Rick James. He's a line stepper. He's an habitual line stepper. People taking that kindness for weakness. Fuckers were just trying to connect. You know what I mean? The Empress. Oh no, YouTube's reconnecting. All right. These two clarifiers for both of you feel like a remembrance of something, remembering something, keeping something in mind while you're going through whatever current situation is here. This self-explanatory. A little bit of heartbreak there. It feels more like a release. What yours is Nirvana. Nirvana is the how are you evolving? You shit. Flying everywhere. Well, more than just that, because this goes with this. Pregnancy, new seeds, intentions, blah, 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 right? Let's talk about it real quick. We got time. It ain't kicked off just yet. Um, it's in the DNA kind of thing. Every time I step outside, the tree outside, and it's been like this for months, this motherfucker will not stop dropping fucking acorns and be all over the goddamn driveway and shit. You be slipping and all kinds of shit. The death in reverse speaks to something maybe needing to change within all that to get this up right, or maybe it's good like this. You have to you have to decide on that. You know what I'm saying? It is a remembrance, and that's good for anybody watching because we all have that potential. But this is speaking to your ass directly, right? You pulled the cards, right? Um, you're you got a lot of majors too, so this is really a turning point for you, and I think you already know this is a turning point at some point. This is almost like a because you got cycles here too for that Empress. Kind of getting off the wheel, but this is if you're not the wheel, this is things spinning in your favor. But it's like maybe you don't have to do anything with the death in reverse. Maybe you just need to hold your course. I can see that. So it's either that or something needs to change in order to steer the course. Like the decisions that you make moving forward from this point on is going to help change the wheel. So you know where you're at with that. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Let me see this again. I think this is really about where you invest your energy, healing pools of love, and how fitting that the Queen came out, the Queen of Hearts. And this is, and it's funny because I remember you're a Pisces, and we're leaving the Piscean age. And I wondered how that would affect people with Pisces placements. I got one in my damn moon. Maybe that's something I'll look up later. Because we're getting out of the belief and the fantasy and the illusion of things, and we're getting back into the knowing of things. And how that translates for Piscean people would be a little bit different, I'm sure, as it would with people who have Aquarian, placements and stuff. I mean, we all got them, but highlighted with a planet, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. One of the big three, goddamn North Node, shit like that. Oh, okay, okay. So what's happening with you, healing pools? You are becoming the student again. You are becoming the student again. And that's what I meant to tell you with that comment. I mean, it's all good. We good, Yay, priestess, she got the other. Fuck that. Put it in you. That same comment, you should be putting that same comment into yours, into you, if that makes sense. Because that kind of feels like what the example was. This is about moving energy in all aspects of your life. Nirvana. It feels more holistic now. This feels more of a holistic feel. See how she's moving that energy from here to here, but she's maintaining all these other aspects of herself. But she's generating kind of like self generating energy, doing it with her eyes closed. So these may be things that you do naturally. This could be anywhere from the realm of like ritualistic things that you do. And I don't mean like lighting candles and shit. I mean like your everyday. Do you go for a walk? Do you meditate for 10 minutes? That kind of shit. And generating that energy. And at the same time, this is the classroom, especially for a Queen of Hearts. Anybody who has hearts have to get their heart broken. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's got all this air, you got to get talked to kind of bad or whatever. You got to have mind games played on you so you can see both sides and make discernments and things of that nature. Yes. So it's being a student again. I will, on the surface, the student of love, but a student of yourself. It's kind of like being mindful of what you've seen and being in the moment with what you're doing now. Does that line up kind of thing with where you're going? Look at this shit. Y'all motherfuckers got 5 cards and shit. You got 4. I guess I'm gonna say. it just keeps doing the same thing for you two priestess. I don't know which one or the other. I don't really want to. I don't even think I'm going to be allowed to give that kind of answer. But if you haven't walked away, and that's the change, or you don't need to, it all depends on what your results. I don't even want to say results, but how the energy is currently moving for you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of thing. You feel what I'm saying? But if there is some appendages that need to be fixed, especially in the realms of the heart here, that needs to change. Bang, 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 bang. All right, that's 5 cards. That's changing the damn self. That was fun. All right. And I know you got the deck. I would pull this card out for some reason. There's still more in that card. And you as well. I will pull this card out. Just look at it for a minute. You might get more in that high priestess, that lady of the shrine moment for yourself. This all really just feels like a invitation to go within. You know what I'm saying? If anything else kind of jars you in some sort of way, that's your confirmation that that's where it is. If you weren't aware of it, you know what I'm saying? But if you are, this is like continue to go on that path because you're in the right direction for yourself. So it's good. It's really good. Remember, it's the mind. If you think it's bad, then guess what? Don't come back here with that shit. Because you made your choice. And I think that's really a really great message at the end to close all this out. Be willing to live with the choices that you've made. You know what I'm saying? Be willing to, just being accountable is a beautiful thing. Just being accountable, being able to make the changes, having the ability to make the changes, you know what I'm saying? And be more in control of your destiny is a beautiful thing. And that's for the whole collective reading, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? I don't know, you tell me what's up. We about to close this bad boy out. You lost the deck. Well, I hope somebody got it. All right. All right. Yep, 3 o'clock. It's game time, for damn sure. All right, everybody. I think that's pretty good. Unless anybody else in the room wants cards before I roll out. I know we had somebody come in late. Oh, we had a Steelers fan walk in the building too. Oh my goodness. Bears game was awesome. I don't know how they pulled that shit out. You're welcome. Anybody who got a card, anybody showed up and just ramble on some spiritual shit for a little bit. I appreciate you. Whatever. All right. Everybody good? I guess everybody good in the room. Yeah, I know she go up there in Chi-Town. They pulled that out their ass. All right, that's it. Why everybody so quiet? So where we at? We're in Capricorn season. We're getting ready to get into Aquarius season too. Damn. But today is 1:11, so them ones is really talking right now. It feels like a good time to restart or revisit, or I know I got retrograde kind of vibes anyway, and maybe it's time to circle back on a few things. I don't know. I was thinking about doing I keep that to myself. I keep that to myself. All right, everybody. Um, enjoy the rest of y'all day. If you need any of the services that I have, description box or hit the page DM, you know the fucking drill. You done heard it a million times from all the rest of these niggas. Um, and just keep your focus at this time. Just keep your focus. Keep it where it needs to be for the time being. Let everything else kind of play itself out. Don't put too much of yourself out. You know, don't get caught up in all these games of drownness, because what's real and what's not is really kind of hard to tell nowadays. You know what I mean? But that's all we got. Enjoy the rest of y'all day, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Okay, we're gonna get out of there first.